Here's Carnes with Johnson to his left. They start with David Johnson, and Missouri State bottles him up after a gain of 1. We take a look at the Missouri State starters. Crutcher, the senior safety, is providing the experience in that secondary. Here's David Johnson, another tough couple of yards. Their own 15-yard line, and a handoff to David Johnson. Pushes him out close to the 20-yard line. The senior out of Clinton, Iowa. 3 receivers top of your screen. Hands it off to David Johnson and keeps it between the tackles for a gain of 2. Keep those wins coming on campus here with a win today, as they've got a lot to play for with the FCS playoffs. First time. Here's we're in the final few minutes of the first quarter. David Johnson up the middle, inside the 10-yard line, down to the 6. In the red zone in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, scoring on 33 of 34 attempts, and add one more as David Johnson takes it in.
One defender gets a hand on him, but other than that.
To the bottom of your screen. Carnes handles the low snap, hands it off to Johnson, and he gets met in the backfield. He's got 29 yards and a touchdown, and he gets the carry here on 3rd down, and ball may have come loose there.
It did.
So they do announce the runner was down by contact. That fan, keep it nice and toasty here as the UNI offense goes to work. David Johnson looking to really heat things up here in this.
You can just tell that big play potential's right there.
And that 30-yard run was a touchdown score for UNI, and that's a gain of 5 on sure-handed back on the punt return
and
team.
He's smart. He knows when to do the fair catch and when not to.
David Johnson, another really tough 3 or 4 yards up the middle.
And now the offense is trying to string some things together.
There's David Johnson finding a big hole up the middle.
I mean, we have to slow this down for you on that instant replay, because if you blink, you miss it in person. He's so fast.
Give him 14 yards on the run, down to the 27. Here's Johnson again. This time hogtied and thrown down by Beisel at the 26-yard line. As a kicker, was with the Titans this last preseason. There's a kick that's going to be returnable for David Johnson from the 3-yard line. Makes one man miss at the 15. Looking to get to the outside edge. And he does. He's across the 30 and maybe across the 40-yard line before he steps out of bounds. Carnes hands it off to David Johnson. Get what they can and call a timeout. David Johnson's going to take it to the house.
You got to be kidding me.
Puts UNI up by a touchdown now going into halftime.
Well, Brad, it was his kickoff return that got him thinking, well, let's not just take a knee and go into the locker room. Let's try and get into field goal range. He finishes the drive.
First down and 10 for the UNI offense as we get the 3rd quarter started. Breon Carnes will go right back to how it finished. Hands it off to David Johnson across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
And that sometimes happens with the passing game.
There's David Johnson, breaks it to the outside. Look out, 40 to the 50. Trying to angle him out of bounds, and Missouri State able to run him down from behind. Huge gain for David Johnson as he goes over 100 yards on the game.
Great job by that offensive lineman. You see some different blocking there to get him around the corner. And then once he's around the corner, it's off to the races. He is one talented football player and one of his best recruiting classes he's ever had, and that speaks volumes.
We go back to David Johnson on the ground, left side. Draws another opening for Johnson, and he's inside the 25.
And if you have a good tight end, I know the University of Iowa football program has had a good number as well. That's just a wrinkle in that offensive playbook you can throw in. And
he gets one more. He ties the Missouri State season record for touchdown receptions. Here's David Johnson with the carry up the middle on 2nd down. And here's a 3rd down, though, as you mentioned, Eric. Owens in motion. Carnes back to throw. Swings it out to Johnson. Gets his legs taken out. And a nice open field tackle. Final game of the regular season, and the Panther seniors and us as a crew get to do it here at home. David Johnson goes up the middle and fighting for the 1st down on the read option. Owens in motion. Carnes back to pass. Swings it near side for
There's a flag.
David Johnson, and a flag comes out as Carnes got hit after the play. The Panther offensive staff went to Breon Carnes just to try and get that offense rolling a little bit more. Here's David Johnson on the carry. He's inside the 10.
And now it's time for Sawyer to step up and do his part.
There's a handoff to Johnson up the middle, all the way to the end zone. David Johnson, his 3rd touchdown of the day.
Johnson can do plays like this. Again, great blocking, big hole as a player, as a coach. Now at Creighton.
Chris Kleiman at North Dakota State, now
exactly.
the head coach of the Bison.
So you say thanks, but we really want to beat you.
There's a 2nd down carry for David Johnson and stopped short of the 1st down. Breon Carnes back at quarterback had a scary moment earlier in this 2nd half where we thought he had a serious knee or ankle injury, but he wants to be out there and finish the work on senior day. David Johnson gets pushed over after crossing the 35-yard line. It looks like and goes in motion behind Carnes. Hands it off to Johnson up the middle. Johnson inside the 20, pushing his way closer to the end zone down to the 15-yard line.
It's senior day, and he's trying to carry the Panthers into the playoffs, but he's also carrying some Missouri State Bears with him as well. A lot of fight in this student athlete out of Clinton, Iowa.
David Johnson, 4 yards shy of 200 on the day. He'll get an opportunity right now to go over 200, and he does. Give him 6 on the carry down to the 10. This is his first game ever going over 200 yards on the ground.
And we kind of expected that in the 2nd half. If you have a lead, keep it going with David Johnson, and